Hello, we're back. Of course we're back. I hope we're looking bigger and better than ever as Algeria have agreed to play Sweden in a friendly again. It's IKEA against Ardis. Now, I know we just played Sweden with Belmadi when we were all sad and depressed. Just before that Qatar World Cup began, we're thinking, oh my God, why have we got to go and play Sweden in the snow, in Malmo, when everyone else is going to play a World Cup in a few days' time. But this is different vibes. We've got Uncle Vlad, maybe the best we've ever had, taking us to Stockholm in the Strawberry Arena, a huge stadium in the capital of Sweden. There could be over 50,000 tuning into that game. And even Sweden themselves are much better. They've got the likes of Isak and Gyökeres. They've essentially got two £100 million plus centre forwards playing against two guy. So God knows what's going to happen. Now, of course, we lost 2-0 to Sweden last time out. Having said that, the morale was low and Ben Sebaini did get sent off. And Algeria tend to lose when Ben Sebaini's not in the defence. You see that against Mauritania. But this is a good test because Sweden are much better than they were when we played them last time. They've got some really good players, particularly in the front line. It's a good test for our defence and it's a good test away from home. June the 10th is the date for this one. It'll be Algeria's last game of this season. I'm going to try and go to this game, hopefully, inshallah. I'm going to try and go to this game. I think it'll be a good event. I think it'll be far better than the Malmo game. The Malmo game against Sweden, the 2-0, was obviously in the winter, it was snowing. It's not going to be warm, it's Sweden, but it's going to be much better arena as well. I think a lot of Algerians will actually make the trip out there to Stockholm. And I'm sure, of course, there's some living out there in the Scandinavian area as well. I want to see how we get up against Sweden because are Sweden the European version of Algeria? I mean, good players in some areas, not so good players in other areas. Not expected to be the best in the continent, but by no means the worst. And of course, Sweden are going to be almost certainly looking to make it to the World Cup in 2026 as well. And it's the sort of nation we're going to have to play should we qualify for that competition because we're going to play probably at least one European nation, maybe even two, should we make it to the World Cup group stage. I want to know how we're going to get out against that sort of team. Because if we can't get a result against Sweden, how are we going to get on against Spain, France, Portugal, England, these sorts of teams? So it's really interesting to see how the team performs. It's nice to make a change from playing, bloody Mozambique and Botswana with respect. We get the opportunity to go and play the Swedes. And I'm really looking forward to that one. I know that weird FIFA Club World Cup is happening around that time as well. So we might lose Ben Sebaini to Dortmund in the Club World Cup. We might even lose Tugay and Belali to Esperance in the Club World Cup. But it's going to be a good event. Of course, Kandusi had that really shocking injury in the Egyptian domestic cup. We hope he's okay. No way Kandusi's going to play in those games. But of course, Zarouki will be back. Now, Algeria will play another friendly, probably at home in Algeria against a mid to low African side. We've tried to play Niger, rumours of Cameroon. Could you imagine if we played Cameroon in a friendly? We've got to play in Bleeder, right? We won't, but I'd play it in Bleeder for the vibes. Talks of going to Constantine, to Anneba, back to Oran. But we'll play the African team at home and then we'll jet off to Sweden. Sweden are going to play Hungary away before playing Algeria at home 10th of June for that one. I want to play a decent team. I don't want to play bloody Somalia or, Sao Tome and Principe, Uganda. I want to play top level. Morocco are playing Tunisia. Senegal are playing England. Ghana are playing Nigeria. Bring me a good team, please, Vladimir. Because we don't learn anything playing against bloody Tanzania. I want to see what these guys can do against the best and if we can beat the best. That's the whole point of these friendlies, testing the lads out. It would be iconic if we played Cameroon. I mean, it really would be iconic. We finally got the replay 3 years later, guys. I told you. No, but seriously, Cameroon are a good team. And that's the sort of opposition I want to play. Or maybe even Mali or something like that. And I want it to be a good test for Algeria. Because if we play a lower African team, we either embarrass ourselves or we win, but we don't really gain any knowledge. And also it's going to be a good opportunity for Petkovic to test some players that don't usually get game time. Haj Musa's got to get some game time, for example. If Balumi is back, he's got to get some game time. Some serious game time is needed. You want a strong African opponent at home, and then you go to Sweden, you play your main team, the team that played Mozambique or whatever can play Sweden. It looks like a more Aguirre Mahrez is the front three. And by the way, I really hope Ryan Cherki gets in that front three one day. You see what he did on the right wing against Manchester United. The heir to the throne to Riyad Mahrez could well be Ryan Cherki. Scored in the home leg, scored at Old Trafford in the away leg. Cherki's unreal. Sad he's gone out with Lyon. He's almost certainly going to leave Lyon in the summer, and the players tend to play for Algeria when they leave Lyon. You see that with people like Aouar and Guiri and all these guys. When they get out of Lyon, they tend to make the switch to Algeria. I want to see Rayan Cherki in this top. Not in June, I think he'll play the under-21 Euros with France. But September, for me, Cherki's there or he'll never come. And that's the way it is. And it is crucial because you can get Cherki in September, you can secure a World Cup place. All of a sudden, you go into the World Cup and you've got Cherki for the AFCON in December. So we've got to be going to get Rayan Cherki. I want Cherki more than Ait-Nouri. Ait-Nouri is a great player as well, don't get me wrong. But Ait-Nouri isn't going to play for France anytime soon. Cherki is on the edge, battling with the likes of Doué and Barcola, and I think he's better than them. And I think the fact that Cherki's not being picked by Deschamps yet is a sign that he's thinking about what to do. Now, remember Guiri? He played the under-21 Euros in 2023, then switched to Algeria after the Cup. You know, we see these guys, Cherki, Ait-Nouri, play the Olympics. It doesn't mean anything. Even Aouar played for the main team, he still switched. I'm not worried if he wants to stick in that under-21 squad. But if Deschamps comes calling and Cherki says yes, forget about it. I think Deschamps already wanted him but hasn't got him because he's not decided yet. Of course, the French FA and media, they're not going to admit that. It will be embarrassing on their part, but we're going to wait and see what happens. I do hope we can get him because I think it's a real game changer if Algeria get Rayan Cherki. What it would do to the squad would be unbelievable. But let's see. Certainly not going to be playing against Sweden. I'm looking forward to the Sweden game. Isak and Gyökeres could easily be at Barcelona and Real Madrid next season. They are two top centre forwards in the world right now, even though they're at Sporting and Newcastle. Could you imagine? I mean, Isak against bloody Mandy. We've got to see if Mandy and whatever are up to these levels in Tupa. We've got to see if they can compete. Because if they can compete with these guys and keep them quiet, it's all credit to us. And imagine if we go to Sweden and get a result, it's going to be unbelievable. So Sweden, Algeria to look forward to. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.